Hi, everyone. Welcome. Deb Sheppard live on all sorts of platforms, which is so exciting. I am so glad to be here again on 11:11 here at Denver time. So if you've never joined us before, please let us know where you're from. I will do readings, but I always talk in the very beginning and get everyone going and kind of have some shout outs, things like that. So if you followed us for a long time, you know the routine. But for those that this is the first time, uh, just follow along. You'll get some good information about what's going on tonight with the full supermoon called the buck moon, as well as understand how this works and some questions that might be helpful for everyone in our audience. We know that people are all over the world that join us, which is unbelievable that we can do this with technology. Again, welcome to Deb Sheppard. We're live, and we are going to talk a little bit today about the Buck Moon, Buck. Say that three times. And what's interesting when you look at any animal that has more like sheep, we look at deer, we look at antelope, things like that, and they have these antlers, and that's the buck. And the buck means and represents with the antlers connecting to spirit, with the universe, things like that. I love science, even though I'm not a science guru by any means, but I really like understanding science. And if you've watched recently about the James Webb telescope, it is really seeing some incredible things out there. So when we look at our own personal life, it's so much bigger than where we are. We get really consumed with our own stuff. And I think tonight's a great night to really open up to more possibilities and what the universe, your community, and the world around you can help support you. So tonight is called a supermoon. Oh, Dana's telling me there's some shout outs. So behind the camera is Dana and Elizabeth. They are managing everything behind the scenes so I can be here. So please let us know where you're from. Tell us is this your first time? Again, we're not going to do readings right away, but we just want to do some shout outs to welcome everybody. But
And a cool topic for today.
Yes.
So we love when you share a little bit about
yeah,
it.
so
yay.
we're going to do some rituals tonight, and they're going to be rated G, so we can post them. So you don't have to do, G-rated rituals, but that's
you
what
mean
we're
as
going to
in
talk
dancing naked in the moon?
Yes,
Is that what
absolutely.
you're talking about?
or whatever that looks like for each of us. To their
All
own.
right. And welcome to everybody on Instagram,
Hey.
Facebook. We got people joining on YouTube. It's so fun. So just a few little shout outs, and then I know you're going to dive into the topic.
Yeah, the supermoon.
A little bit deeper. So awesome. So we have Patricia out in Salinas, California.
Salinas. That's where my mom and my grandma and them all lived. Yeah, we love Salinas.
Jennifer says, I miss you being in front of the wings. Does that mean when they were coming out of your
My
head?
head. Yeah, we kind of had some assistance by Elizabeth about changing a little bit of, so wings are not coming out of the top of my head. It could be conceived as the devil, disguise. Just that I tell a lot of dad jokes. If you're not familiar with me, and Dina's just shaking her head. And
I just shake my head behind the camera. Janice from San Jose. We were just out there in San
yeah,
Jose.
we love San Jose.
Let's see. Janet says, I've seen the brightest moon these past 2 nights. Amazing, especially over our palm trees and water in Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, Florida.
So, yay. She says, good to be cheered up by you again.
Yay.
Jill, of course, Jill always joins from Scotland. We always see her on, so welcome again.
Thank you, Jill. How far is Scotland and England?
What do you mean, how far?
Are you talking Scotland like?
Oh, how far is Scotland from England?
Uh-huh.
I think they're just like right across a little channel from each other. Yeah.
Because we have Michelle, one of our students, that's in England, and she is one of our students. So I'm not sure if she's on yet, but I love having people from all over the world in our country that like to join in.
Yes, and we have somebody who hasn't given us their name, but apparently they're a student, and they're saying hello to all their solution sisters. Make sure you put your name in when you join so that we can actually see who you are.
Especially in Instagram.
So that was just a reminder, yeah. Mindy
I may
from
be
Alaska.
psychic, but I don't want to waste my energy.
Mindy, she says, hello from Alaska on a cruise.
Cruise.
By the way.
Wow, I feel really honored.
Connie from Vermont.
Vermont.
And she said she just talked to me. So hi, Connie. You must have called me on the phone.
Yes.
Michelle from down in Florida. So the wings are still behind Deb. They're just to the left of her head on your screen. They haven't gone anywhere. So people are saying
probably
they
just
missed
the way
the
we're
wings, but they're
sitting.
right. They're still there.
They're there. It's probably the way we're positioned, trying to get all the cameras working, etc.
And Instagram, Heidi from Wisconsin.
Heidi.
Amber from Colorado, now living in Pacifica, California, she says. We have Christine from up in Quebec City.
Wow.
So cool.
Yeah.
Somebody says, so this is Ms. _Rock'n'Star says, hello from next door.
It's Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Just talking about you. There is someone in Scotland. So
there she is.
Obviously, I don't know the distance between, but there's someone online right now. Is she on Facebook or Instagram?
Uh-huh.
She's on Facebook. So she's in Scotland. We'll have
right across the little channel from you.
Yeah.
Think, right?
I got to get a map out. So people.
Somebody says they're on the same landmass. So I know it's separated somehow, but I'm clearly not a geography expert.
No. It's like saying, oh, they're from the U.S. And you go, what part? And they go like, Vermont. And they go, where are you from? California. So it can be a big difference too. So
anyway, so hey to everybody. Thanks for joining today.
Yeah, we always appreciate it. No matter what time zone you're in, that you're here with us today.
Yeah. Real quick, as we get going, Elizabeth is behind the scenes too, and she chooses randomly listener to join on the live, and Deb does several random readings as well. So if you want a reading and you want to join Deb on live and receive a reading from her, or if you want to receive a reading just on the just a mini reading without being online, go ahead and put in the first name of your loved one that you want to connect with and their relationship to you. So my mom, Jan, for example, and Elizabeth will randomly choose somebody. She'll let me know who that is, and we'll make a quick announcement for you to send an email to Elizabeth when the time comes. So everybody just, if you're here for a reading, go ahead and do that. And
also, if you just have questions, type those in, because I love answering questions that everyone can benefit from. So if you have a question on this topic or some other topic, I'm pretty much an open book, and I'll be happy to share my insights or my experiences with the audience, because that really is something that is an interactive type of situation that we can create. Mm-hmm. And so many people want to ask questions, and they may think, oh, I don't want to ask that. And generally speaking, if you have a question, other people may have a very similar question. So I like doing that. But we're going to talk about the supermoon, and this is
one reminder from Elizabeth.
Okay.
On Instagram, if you're on Instagram and you want to receive a reading, please type in your name versus us trying to figure out your Instagram handle. So that's just for Instagram. Yes, thank you.
So I'm trying one more time to talk about the supermoon.
Now, Deb, supermoon Deb.
Things should not be perfect. I think people really try and strive. And I remember several years back, a long time ago, where I would want things to come perfect and show up perfectly. And I just don't think that's a good thing to do. I like things to be organic and natural and just go with the flow. So if you're a person that is thinking, well, I can't speak up unless I'm perfect, I can't let people see me if I'm not a certain way. And that, when you allow that to kind of disimpart from your life and you just say that doesn't matter, you will have a much more fulfilling life, and you will not do the shame and guilt that we can carry sometimes in these situations. So we always use this as kind of a teaching moment, as Dana says, another teaching moment that we can use in the future. But tonight, and it sounds like people in Florida and other places are seeing a larger moon, but tonight is what's called the buck moon, BUCK. We're talking about the antlers and things that are on animals, and those are considered basically antennas to connect with the higher source. And so we think about all of our chakras and energies and how that crown chakra is the energy that we want to connect with the universe. And so buck meaning antenna, connecting, being plugged in. And this moon is bigger than any other moon this year. So this is going to be even super duper. It's like going through the drive-through and getting the super duper one, the biggest one you can get. So take this opportunity. When we have these cycles, it's a great way to be able to have rituals and intentions and a way to manifest, because a lot of us do this in the beginning of a new year. For some, it's the Chinese New Year. For Americans and for a lot of cultures, it's the brand new year when December 31st to the January 1st. But when we do it in alignment with the universe, there's so much more power behind it that alignment is magnified, especially when you look at a supermoon. That energy is magnified to way beyond limits. So really getting that clarity is some of the things you really want to do, because sometimes we want to say, well, I really want to create this, but really be clear when you are asking. So also it's a great time. I have some crystals here, and a great time to put your crystals out, maybe on a sacred plate or something that's really beautiful, maybe something in a basket with flowers, things like that. And this is a way to clean your crystals and to really give them a charge so they have better energy, because a lot of times they, like us, we get drained. So using the opportunity to take out your crystals and let them shine and get invigorated. Remember, they're part of our planet. They're Mother Earth. And so, of course, the moon and the sun are very connected to Mother Earth. And so that is also that healing. It's also a healing time for maybe you to release things, whether it's emotionally, whether it's some things you're holding on to, whether it's basically getting rid of maybe an old belief, or even things in your home and in your life that you don't really want anymore, but you want to get rid of that stuff that's holding you back, weighing on you, feeling overwhelmed. Those are the things that you want to think about. I don't want that in my life. I want to have a clear path. I want to open myself up to so much more. And so I'm going to release some of the things that I'm carrying so that I can have that open path and a better alignment with the universe. So I wrote some things down. Those rituals can be anything from singing outdoors. Dana was making the comment about dancing in the moonlight. Really, it's totally okay. One of our favorite movies is about Proposal, when Betty White was out, dancing and doing the drumming. Of course, she was dressed, but again, it's another way to do a ritual. Whatever you believe, whatever you want to bring in, make it fun. Maybe do a bonfire and burn some of the notes and things you want to release. It could be saging, things that you can use as water, washing your hands, blessing water, getting water that maybe you get from a church that you feel is blessed, or do your own sort of ceremony to bless the water to, again, release things. You can meditate. It's called a moon bathing, when you go in and you just allow the moon to, wrap you up and just make you feel like you're getting that complete energy from this moon. If you cannot see the moon because of your location, the weather, it's still in the energy. So it's all about intention and knowing that the moon is there. So if you're all like, well, there's no moon here, still knowing that the ritual is important, because that moon is connected to us in so many ways. When we think about it, when I was growing up in the 60s, oh, wait a minute, I was not born, I was born in the 80s, but going to the moon was such a big deal. And now we're having a telescope, the James Webb telescope, that's going beyond the sun to give us information. So there is so much more that we can collect and bring that energy. It's powerful. We are actually stardust. That's how a lot of our energy and our things are connected to the universe, because we are created by stardust. So it's welcoming that bigger picture in our life, to know that even though we may feel small or insignificant, we may feel that we're not really making a difference in other people's lives. Maybe we feel we're not as important, or people don't see our value. When you start realizing that you're part of this galaxy, you're going to feel much better about being something bigger than just yourself. Um, Also, it's an important time to look at what you want to manifest. And that might be writing things down and doing a mantra with those things. It might be doing some sort of prayer or intention. It might be coloring mandalas, where you're doing some sort of meditation that way. great music, drumming. There really isn't anything wrong that you can do. Well, maybe you could, but I don't think that's the intention of anyone that's on this live feed. So think about today what you want to release, what do you want to bring into your life, what do you want to receive, what is important for you that would make your life happier, easier? Would it be connecting with your loved ones or hearing your guides more clearly? All of these things can be done in this really great moon. If you are busy tonight, still take even 5 minutes before you go to sleep or anything you can do to create that ritual. I mean, you can do it from anywhere. If you're driving in your car, put on some great music that you love and really put your intentions out there, and know that it's being heard because you're creating a vibration and you're speaking to the universe. So if there's any questions on that, I would love to hear that. But I think we could do a multiple things, so you don't really have to target one, but you may want to just target one or two things to see the power behind it. And even if you have people in your life that are dragging your energy down or affecting parts of your life, even find a way to release them. Release them to the universe that they're no longer affecting the big pieces of your life, whether it's your heart, your mind, your feelings, whatever that is. You can release that and just say, I'm no longer the victim. I'm no longer feeling that way. Please, universe, take that. And then as you continue to do that without several days, even if you can create that intention or that mantra and use it for 21, 40 days, every morning, every night, whatever works for you, watch to see how life can change and the energy in your life can change. So do you have any questions?
Can you talk about the benefits of putting crystals out in the full moonlight?
Yeah, so what I talked about briefly was that the crystals are part of Mother Earth, and it affects the oceans. It affects so many our weather. There's just so many different things that the moon. I mean, keeps us on this planet, basically as well. So this is that energy from the moon that is being sent to the crystals, which I thought it remembers. It was part of the planet. It felt the rhythms of the Earth and the rhythm, of the moon and the sun and the changes that our life went through or our planet went through. So what you want to do is, let it connect with it versus keeping it in your house, in your home, and putting it in a drawer or not having it out to reconnect. Just like us, we'd like to plug in and get more energy. So do these things. They give us energy, so we want to give them energy so they can do their job.
And it cleanses them.
It's called charging. And just like all of us, we need to be recharged at times. And since we expect these crystals to help us, this is a way for us to basically, like a phone, we're plugging it back in to get charged.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Another question. Oh, just a comment. Jennifer Carlquist says, y'all have to check out Deb doing a reading at one of her live events. It's really impressive. I happen to agree.
Where was she that she heard that?
I'm not sure, but maybe she'll.
We had a lot of fun in Monterey. I feel like it was Comedy Works included with mediumship. It was a lot of fun.
Let's see here. Keith says, I have a lot of crystals in my room and love them also in my car.
Oh, great.
So that's great. Just a comment.
Yeah, and with that said, the Earth and the moon and sun are all organically doing their job. They don't have to get a list. They don't say, what do you think about this or where are we going next? It's all intuitive for them. Our job is just to place them in situations so intuitively that these things can have healing.
Somebody wants to know what crystals you're holding in your hand. So that is a quartz tower.
A little point on it. And this one,
selenite.
Selenite, which helps with your intuition.
Selenite also helps cleanse your other crystals.
And we'll have some here. So these are very powerful. Dana bought me one of these that's probably 2 feet tall at least. I got to bring that into this room. It was really great. So these are just some different ones, but we have lots of crystals. And we talk to our grandchildren that are 3 and 2 about crystals and naming them, and we just love it. So if you've had children, or been around kids that like to collect rocks, there is a reason to it because rocks are grounding. They give us energy. They make us feel a certain way. We're drawn to big rocks. We're drawn to the ocean that has sand. We're drawn to anything that is of stone because it's part of, that collective energy.
Mm-hmm. And before we get started with readings, I'm going to talk about how it works for you real quick.
It's magical.
It is magical.
Wash the hands. So all mediums, go ahead.
Before you get going, Elizabeth just texted me, and she does have somebody chosen for a Facebook to come on live with on Facebook. Becky, and I hope I don't butcher your last name. Shirtlift Pluster.
Oh, I love that.
So Becky, go ahead and email Elizabeth@debsheppard.com. I'm going to put this up on the screen real quick. So Elizabeth@debsheppard.com. Just Becky, please email Elizabeth, and she's chosen you to come on live with Deb at this point. But we are going to do a few other readings besides that. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Okay, Deb, how do you get messages?
Okay, so if this is your first time, connecting with me, every medium is a little bit different how they communicate with the other side. We have stronger, each of us with all of our senses, we use certain senses more than others. My primary one is an empath, which I think most mediums probably are more empathic. I have a tickle in my throat, so if I start coughing, I'm going to apologize up front.
Usually when you start readings, it's so funny, especially if somebody's on with COVID, and a loved one is kind of tapping you, they start to affect your senses. So as you talk about your senses, I'll jump in so you can catch your breath. So what Deb does is she channels them using her entire body. She has all of her clairs. She can see, hear, taste, smell. They will affect and make her feel things in her body as well. So they may make her choke like they're doing right now. They might, if they died of liver failure or something to that effect, they may make her feel that in that part of her body. If there was an impact, she may feel that impact for a second. It doesn't hurt her, but she will feel that happening. So she will also see things like it's a little bit of a movie playing inside of her head. And she combines all this information to share the actual message that's coming through to help you validate that it is your loved one. Biggest thing to remember is they are okay.
They are together.
They are together.
So they may bring through another loved one, an animal, and talk about things that's currently happened or just happened to let you know that they're well. But yeah, they're okay. I wouldn't do this if they weren't okay to everybody, but they'll come through talking about their life, so that you know that it's them and that they're okay. They're always connected. They're not somewhere else. They're right here with us. Please take them when we're done reading. So, yeah.
Okay, so for on Instagram, we have Michelle who wants to connect to her hubby. I should just say hubby instead of trying to blend two words. Elio is his name. Elio. Elio.
And is this the one in Florida?
I don't know where she's at.
Okay, Michelle, first of all, I feel like he died too soon. I feel like he's too young. I don't feel like it's the COVID thing. I'm not playing with her anymore, but it could still be like he's letting me talk. I also feel like my head hurts with him. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. I feel like he has perhaps an older male with him. This could be a father-in-law, uncle that's also with him. And I'm seeing his hands. Like he may have been a person that worked with his hands, or he was busy, or he's fixing things, that kind of energy. He feels a little bit quiet to me, but I also feel like there's just a lot of love. I feel like you're trying to figure out if he's around or is he really there. He's saying you're not making stuff up. I feel like he is trying to show you signs. The feeling I get is a ceiling fan going, so it may be that he's affecting the ceiling fan or something around the tongue. So it could be that energy as well. I just keep feeling not a lot of closure, or a feeling of not doing enough before he died or right before he died. And I'm getting from him, it's like, and I get this all the time, but don't go there, don't worry about it. But he's giving me also a pinky swear, which to me could be that this is something you did, or that, hey, I'm okay, hey, we got this. So let us know if that makes any sense. And there's also, it feels like a small dog, but it could also be a cat. That's kind of pretty cat.
Michelle is in Toronto.
Oh, Toronto. Okay, yeah. I kept seeing not close by.
I definitely would love to have you share validations after you receive a reading too, because it does help Deb, because I'm able to read that to her and make sure the connections are all
And I think
happening
it
the right
also is
way.
good for the audience that's listening that, like, well, is it validated or is she just pulling stuff out of her, you know what?
And then question, Danielle is asking, do you believe that there are evil spirits, or when they cross, are they all love?
Yeah, I get this question quite often. Um, I always tell people I'm more afraid of the living than the deceased. They do change. So I've had people like a Ted Bundy come through. I've worked on cold cases and missing people where we've had perpetrators they come through. They're not holding on to, or they're not that same person mentally that they were here. So it's just their soul that continues on, and that information that comes through is the validation. I feel like when we attract an energy that might be negative, it so far in my life, I'm not going to say that's 100% out because other people have other experiences, so I'm not going to say 100%. But I find that many times we bring in energy that's negative for us to pay attention to. It's almost like, hey, pay attention. It's like when you're driving down the road and you're not really focused on the road and someone cuts in front of you and all of a sudden it jars you. It's that wake up of, hey, pay attention to what's happening. Again, these are my experiences, but I know that people have other stories that might be different than that. But most of the time, or all the time that I've done that work, it's usually something that they're bringing in because they need to pay attention. That's usually it. So
Okay.
thank you for that question.
All right. So I think Christy's on YouTube, and she wants to connect with her mom, Linda.
And what's the person's name here?
Christy and Linda is her mom.
Or this is funny, Christy. I'm assuming your mom is funny because as soon as you said her name, I didn't hear your name, and I'm cracking up. So this means either that your mom did have a sense of humor, or this is humorous that she's here. So she didn't believe in this, or this is something she wouldn't have done. It's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. I also feel like your mom was pretty sick before she died. My body's feeling tired and weak. She is feeling somewhat responsible, and that usually means to me that she didn't take care of herself, or she could have done things differently, gone to the doctor, whatever that is, that could have done differently. Maybe she wasn't eating properly. It just affected her health. And she's giving me a thumbs up, but it feels like a congratulations. Normally I get a candle that represents that, but I'm not seeing a candle. So I feel more about a celebration, and this could be about the celebration of her life, or thumbs up about what you did. So if you're worried about um, did we do enough, or did mom see this, or did she like what's happening? She's giving you a thumbs up. That feels more like it than the candle, because the candle usually means to me there's a birth year anniversary. Um, I keep feeling sand around her too, so this is also a feeling of maybe you're going to an island and usually doesn't. So your mom's giving me not my normal symbols. Let's just put it that way. So the sand to me is getting down to earth, walking the beach, that sort of feeling, or maybe there is something connected with her with the beach. She's also saying something to you about don't let the drama pull you down. So tonight would be a good way to release that. And this could be siblings, maybe your dad's alive, maybe there's other stuff that's going on. And she just says, don't sweat the small stuff. So Christy, let me know if that makes sense to you.
She was a skeptic, she said.
Okay, that's the humor. Yeah, I'm like.
And then Michelle on Instagram, she said, thank you so much. That makes perfect sense, all of it. Our dog is with him as well as my dad. I've been struggling, wondering if he's around, so thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got that. Okay.
Thanks for the validation. It helps I love having validation because, it's cool how this works, and it's just nice to know that it's validated, but also really for our listeners that are the skeptics or feel, you know what, I'm not sure this is real, da 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 da. And it really helps the community know that your loved ones, you can communicate with them. So try it tonight if you're interested.
Yeah. Okay. I think Becky is getting herself settled. I'm not sure, but we'll give her just a second.
Do you know who Becky wants to talk to?
I think so. I do. Let's see. Her mom, Bev.
Is Becky from here?
I'm not sure, but she looks like she's all settled now. So I'm going to bring
Okay.
her on. And so just give me one sec here.
Sure.
Okay, Becky, you're on live with Deb. I think she can hear you now. And go, Deb.
Yeah. Hi, Becky.
Hello.
Are you Colorado?
Yes.
Do I know your mom, Bev?
I think she was on your live before.
Was she short?
I don't she was probably
Okay.
about
No, I think
5'5", 5'6".
has she been okay? The reason why is there's a Bev that's coming through that I knew that used to come to me as a client, and so I don't think that's the same person. I just want to disconnect from that. But I thought if this is the same woman, this is going to be fun. So, but not. Okay, let me connect with Bev. The first thing I'm getting, Becky, is she's doing this. So, did she like to have things in a certain order, or would she be the one that was like trying to be in charge, or is this about you?
Yes, no, she always tried to be in charge. She was a very strong woman.
Okay, yeah, it's like this has to be done my way. And it's not that she didn't listen to other people's ideas, it's more of she wanted that's kind of her value. Like, let me do all this. And so it's that cornerstone, that strong individual that is that matriarch of the family. I feel like your mom was sick, but I still feel like she was too young when she passed. Does that resonate?
Yes, she was.
Okay.
She was only 65. It was just 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, because I feel pretty soon, those kind of feelings. And she's also saying everything you did to help her, because I feel like she was sick. Does that resonate too?
No, it was just a horrible accident on her anniversary.
Okay, hold on a second here. There's something about her telling people not to feel bad about not making it different. Does that have any meaning to you? It's almost as if people are kind of going backwards and going, what if, could have, should have, that kind of thing.
Yeah. She was just, like I said, she was a very headstrong woman. And I'm a child, so she always wanted me to do as she said, I guess you could say.
Okay, so I think with that said, maybe the intention of this or the interpretation is more of like, do it the way you want to do. Do not feel guilty about if you made different choices after her death or you're not following her guidelines, is what she's even doing this.
Right.
If you're not following everything she said or what you should be doing or her stuff or whatever it is, she goes, don't go back and refigure that. Like, release it, let it go tonight would be a great way to do that. That she doesn't want you to carry any guilt. I keep getting guilt, like, well, mom wants me to do it a certain way. She's just like, let it go. That was just me. Right. I wanted to protect you. So don't hold on to that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Is your father passed too?
No, I just, my biological dad, I don't really talk to him.
Okay. Was there a stepdad that passed?
No, he's still here.
Bev is bringing through a brother, an uncle, a father. There's some male that she's bringing through this with her.
Maybe my grandpa.
No. Does she have a brother that's passed?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be her brother because it's her generation. So she's there with the brother.
That's my own.
Okay, so my biggest message from you or from your mom to you is throw out all of her ideas that she thought she was right and allow yourself to march at your own drum.
Okay.
What is your question to your mom, Becky?
I don't really have a question. I guess I just wonder if she's still around me.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from her, nothing. I don't remember her in my dreams, nothing.
So if you've been on my other lives or you go to my podcast called Spirit and Straight Talk, what makes me feel is that you have guilt around your mom doing it perfectly or doing it right. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
When that happens, your vibration is lower, so it's harder for your mom to connect. Because I have no guilt around your mom, I can make that connection. So as you release tonight, as your ceremony, release all the guilt of doing it mom's way. And especially if you're the only child, you really become that people pleaser. You want mom to really feel good, take care of everything. And what I'm getting from her is that was just her personality. Don't feel like that has to be the rest of your life.
And you
Okay.
teach a lot of that in Spirited Straight Talk.
Yeah,
That was what you were saying.
Yeah, so Spirited Straight Talk is my podcast. There's actually podcasts how to connect with your loved ones and why you may not be able to connect with them. So that should help you. Okay.
Thanks, Becky.
Thanks, Becky. Oops. So with that said, everyone do your ceremonies. It'd be great if you took pictures tonight regarding your rituals and share it with us on our Facebook page or Instagram, wherever those things are, because we'd love to see what you end up doing and how we create and manifest going forward. Remember that even though they're on the other side, they're always by your side. They're forever connected. And please follow me on my Spirited Straight Talk podcast. Dana's on there with me, and we have so many great topics. They're short and sweet to the point, but we'd really like for you to get more information and know that we're part of your community. Thank you for joining us again on 1111 Facebook Live.